when you start the inner work, your consciousness and your vision and your bandwidth are very narrow. So this is quite narrow. This is your retina, this is your eye and your vision. And you see conditioning, clutter, but your inner world is kind of, small. And you can see your loops and everything. This is the conscious that you can see. This is your subconscious, but it's limited, right? And then when you start to do the inner work, you start to broaden your vision. Therefore, you see more clutter, right? Because the subconscious became conscious. So you can see more clutter. So you're like, you think it's worse because you can see more mess, more loops, more stuff that was stuck in your subconscious and shadow. And of course, when you see more, you try to close all those loops, you try to do the inner work, you try to understand yourself. And what one may do is being obsessed at just looking into it and looking for more clutter. And it's funny because I dream about this, so I needed to do this because it was kind of quite representative of that. Is that I dream of my kitchen, and the kitchen was not dirty, but I had a lot of trash that wasn't taken out. And I was thinking, why? Just I can't find my stuff because there's so much clutter. And here, some people will just actually go back to the bin and just look for more stuff. That's exactly what you may do when you see more loops and more clutter and more stuff and shadows and trauma. You want to just kind of dig back to the bin and and try to find more loops to resolve, and that becomes an addiction of awareness and the inner work and finding more things and trying to improve yourself constantly and trying to close those loop and broader your vision more and more. But the thing is, there is no end. Once you understand there is no end, you won't be able to do the whole circle. You won't be able to kind of having so much awareness that you become wall. Because if you do become wall, you have no business to be here. And you can't even just, because the universe is all like this, and it's normal that you can see only that. Like this is a refinement of your current consciousness, and this refinement is actually helping the collective in one way. So if you can see everything, you're not here on earth, you're just up there, because you're whole, and you had no business to be on earth, basically. So you won't be able to bring all your soul in your body anyway. So don't try to find out more and more things to close. The only thing you need to do is actually go back to earth. And once one of those clutter arrive in real life, in the form of tests, real test scenario, not in a work, real test scenario, at that moment you can close the loop and integrate. But here, how do you take off this trash? Because if you take off this trash, you go quicker, right? You go quicker, you're more efficient, and you can actually find your stuff quicker, because when you have a lot of clutter, you can't find your stuff and it's slowing you down. So how you find your stuff quicker is not taking the trash out, because the trash needs to actually change state. And how do you change state? You integrate, right? So the subconscious, you just realize how messed up was that, and you just bring awareness to it, from darkness to awareness, and then you integrate. And how you integrate through real life situation, and then you rewire like that. And when you rewire like that and you change your conditioning and your nervous system update, the clutter will still be here. That's the thing. The clutter is not gonna just go anywhere, but you won't be able to see it because you integrate it, because this clutter is gonna be one with you. So you won't be able to see it as clutter, but just as integration. So as soon as you see some clutter and some loops and something that bother you, you witness it without reaction. And when you don't react to it, you become neutral to it. You start to integrate it, and this clutter becomes yourself. It become integrated to you. Therefore, you won't be able to see it. And that's how you take off the trash. Hope that makes sense.